Two people dead in what's being called a murder-suicide. It happened at an apartment near 23rd Avenue in Dunlap. Police received a call late last night from neighbors reporting gunshots at an apartment. Police say the suspect, now identified as 49-year-old Ian White, had an argument with his girlfriend, 42-year-old Tracy Thurman. They say White shot and killed Thurman, then turned the gun on himself. An investigation is underway tonight.
A Phoenix family is pleading for the public's help in finding the body of their presumably murdered sister. The 28-year-old woman was last seen 2.5 months ago now. Fox 10's Nicole Garcia joins us live with details. Nicole.
Veronica Mondragon Rodriguez's family and Phoenix police asking the community for any tips that might lead to her body or her killer. Now, those who knew Veronica told detectives that she was brutally attacked and killed, and that a man known as Soldier was likely involved.
When she just stopped calling and everything, that's when we knew something was going on.
The siblings of Veronica Mondragon Rodriguez say although she was living on the streets, she was in constant contact with the family. She was last seen on June 27th in this area near Black Canyon Highway and Indian School Road. The siblings started asking around.
As soon as we showed a picture, we wouldn't even give them details. I'd be like, oh, like you haven't heard or they haven't told you? Cops haven't called you?
The word on the street, according to witnesses, was that Veronica was dead.
Veronica was violently murdered. There was a portion where the suspect removed her body to a different location.
Detectives and family members say several witnesses mentioned a particular man that knew Veronica, who may have more answers.
The name Soldier continued coming up, and that's why he may or may not be the person that's responsible for this homicide. But detectives do want to speak with anybody that may have information, and he would be one of those individuals that would have either firsthand witness or maybe the suspect.
We just want, if anybody out there knows anything, to please help us bring her sister at peace. Give her the rest that she deserves.
And again, Veronica last seen near 27th Avenue and Indian School Road on June 27th. Now, Silent Witness is offering up to $2,000 in rewards for any tips that lead to the location of Veronica or her killer. Reporting live, I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
New details emerging of a troubled past for the man accused of murdering his family in Casa Grande over the weekend.
Yeah, Fox 10's Marissa Starback has been covering this story for us and has the latest on what happened. Marissa.
Christina, John, we are learning more about what happened on Sunday in Casa Grande, and we're also learning more about the suspect's past. We know from the Pinal County Sheriff's Office that deputies were called to that home 10 times in separate incidents regarding Richard Wilson. And that is, of course, until that final 11th call coming in on Sunday, where 4 of his family members were found dead at the home. 16-year-old Rudy Wilson was inside the home and made the initial call to 911, stating that her brother was beating up their mother, when the Pinal County Sheriff's Office says her brother, 21-year-old Richard Wilson, went on a stabbing spree, killing his mother, Ellen Otterman, his father, Richard Wilson, Rudy, and her 5-year-old sister, Renaya White. Court paperwork now revealing when deputies arrived to the home in Casa Grande around 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, the 21-year-old suspect emerged and reportedly told them, quote, "I'm over here, take me to jail." Deputies say when they asked Wilson if there was anyone else inside the home, he responded, "Go check."
Kind of scenes that affect us even deeply, and we had people on scene that were shaken up because this was absolutely horrific, and just it takes a monster to do something like this.
Call logs now show 10 times in the last 3 years the Pinal County Sheriff's Office responded to calls for Richard Wilson. In 2019, a call for disorderly conduct and another for an agency assist. In 2021, a call for assault and a follow-up on the assault. This year, calls for a drug offense, an unwanted person, 2 separate welfare checks, and 2 separate mental health pickup orders, before the 11th call came from Rudy Wilson, and her brother was arrested for the murders of his 4 family members. The probable cause statement showing that when Wilson was brought to the sheriff's office, he asked for his medications and listed multiple. The medications have been redacted from the paperwork. Casa Grande Elementary School, where 5-year-old Renaya attended and where Richard Wilson Sr. worked, putting out this statement that reads in part, quote, It is with a heavy heart that I inform you a student and staff member were tragically killed over the weekend. We send our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of these individuals and mourn the loss of two of our CGESD family. Richard Wilson is now facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. He's being held on a $2.5 million bond, and he is expected to have a preliminary hearing in front of a judge on next Tuesday, September 13th. Marissa Sarbach for Fox 10 News.
Chandler police have arrested a man accused of sexually assaulting a child after luring him away from a school bus stop. Police say 22-year-old Jesus Jorge Del Campo lured a student from Islands Elementary School to a nearby apartment building near McQueen and Warner Roads. During the investigation, police learned a golf cart was used during the incident, and Del Campo was identified as a maintenance worker at the apartment complex. Chandler police asking parents to talk with kids on how they can avoid situations like this.
And it can not only happen, on a sidewalk or at a convenience store or at a grocery store. It could happen playing video games. It could happen, on social media. It can happen anywhere.
Del Campo faces 2 counts of molestation of a child and 1 count of kidnapping. Both are Class 2 felonies.
Police arrest a man accused of ransacking a tattoo parlor in Prescott. The suspect, 38-year-old Dylan Widerholt, broke into the Lion's Den tattoo company yesterday morning. They say he broke in and destroyed several items, supplies, and he sprayed tattoo ink all over the place. Police later found him walking downtown covered in ink. He admitted to the crime apparently and then was arrested. Police believe this may have caused more than $100,000 in damage to that business.